Hello, welcome to Quality for Growth podcast. My name is Clara, your host. Now, I am excited today to introduce to you one of the people that have actually inspired me personally in business, inspired me in the corporate world, somebody that actually has started something that is really doing well, in the nation, the former Director General for NEMA, Mr. James Kapesa, a former banker who has worked in a lot of corporate institutions. And now he's an author of this book, Orianda, the 3 stages of ancient, eternal, success, secrets that are revealed in this book. And what we're going to be discussing today is a book that actually he has authored and the business secrets that actually lie in the Orianda book. So, Mr. James Kapesa, you're welcome to this podcast.
Clara, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be part of this brilliant idea that you are hosting. It's a platform for us to share knowledge about small businesses.
Yes.
And in the process, help our communities and help our country to get to the next level. Because until small businesses are properly run, economic rebirth, economic renaissance for Zambia and for Africa is a pipe dream.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for making the time.
It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. Thank you so much.
How did you come up with the name, the 3, ancient, eternal secrets of SMEs, success revealed?
It starts in 2004.
Okay.
I was picked by Standard Bank, when I was at Stanbic, to be part of a group of young leaders across the entire Standard Bank.
Okay.
And that's over 200,000 staff.
Wow.
So I was privileged to be part of the 30 that were picked to be on a high-level leadership training to prepare that cohort into directorship of the bank. And that group was divided into 4 cohorts. My cohort was assigned with the task of finding a golden answer to financing of SMEs.
Wow.
And so through that
still process, a question up until now.
Exactly.
Still a question.
How do we get SMEs to be the engine of growth for Africa, especially for Standard Bank? So we traveled. We went to France to go and check on what happens there. We traveled to Malaysia and we would spend a lot of time in Johannesburg with the leading professors coming to talk to us about the combination keys. Now, when I came back from that assignment, it dawned upon me that until small and medium enterprises are properly positioned, are properly supported, until we find the actual reason why small businesses fail
to actually take over,
there will be no economic renaissance in Africa.
Yeah, true.
And so this then became my passion, my burning passion. Why are small businesses not succeeding?
Yes.
And as a banker, I would sit and listen to people say, no, we need to give SMEs more money. And in Zambia, you remember that from the Lima Bank times, we have thrown money at SMEs.
Yeah, true.
Some have suggested that if we give SMEs cheap loans, we will solve the problem. Lima Bank tried to do that. CEEC is doing it, but that is not the solution. Some people are saying, no, I think we need to give them preferential procurement. So government must set aside separate quotas for small businesses
so they can thrive.
And then thrive. That is not the solution. No, it's not the solution.
Wow.
And so it started burning and hurting me that government after government have been making the same mistakes.
In and out.
And it hasn't worked.
It has not worked so far.
So Orianda then becomes a dream for me.
Yes. Okay.
And Clara, I believe in dreams.
Yes, me too. I'm one of them.
As the midpoint between the divine and the mortals.
Absolutely.
So I have a small book. I've had this book for many years that I put at my bedside.
At your bedside?
Yeah. Absolutely. When I have a dream that is impactful, I wake up.
And write it down. Wow.
And so I have this dream about this place which I've never seen on earth.
Wow.
And I wake up and describe it.
On paper.
And I go on, and I go on, and then again, I see the same place.
Yes.
And the
A separate dream.
A separate dream, same place.
Wow.
And the name comes, Oleander.
Wow.
Says, what name is
this?
this? I write it down. And then the next week, my spirit, my soul is pained.
Yes.
Like a pregnancy.
Yes, it's like you wanna
deliver, you wanna give birth to this idea. And then I start to research what is Oleander. I discover it's a very rare name.
Wow.
I don't even know what it means by that time.
I was going to ask you that. Yes.
I don't even know what it means.
At the time.
But finally, this idea of sharing my own perspective about what we can do to build small businesses starts to form. And the word Oleander starts to come through. And it links to this place up in the terrestrial skies, which this Oleander is about. So Oleander is a combination of my habit to write down dreams.
Yes.
And this urging, nagging, pain in
desire
my
to deliver, to bring it out.
Share with me, with the country, with the world.
Yes.
That the reasons why small businesses are struggling is not far from us. It's a habits which we are aware of.
Wow.
It's common habits, but which we ignore. And so you discover that Oleander is a small flower. It's even used as hedges. It's a common flower, like all these common bad habits we have around running businesses. Yes. But it's also a poisonous flower.
Wow.
It's very poisonous, but also medicinal.
That's
you see,
strange.
the habits that have made Zambia's small businesses stunted
for a long time.
Common habits.
For a long time.
But they are poisonous habits. Yes. But the same habits, if we understand them well through this book, they are medicinal. They can heal our small and medium businesses. This is the concept behind Oleander.
I want to get into that really, because see, whether we like it or not, we are now in the dispensation where small businesses are rising. And I can tell you, we are doing it just as it comes, without plan, without all sorts of things. And because we have seen one or two people running business and they're successful, and we're jumping right into it. We don't know the pros and cons of doing business, especially in the Zambia and an African continent, so to speak. So this is why we got interested in this book.
Oh, thank you so much.
Exactly, because this book seems to have some solutions that people have not heard of. And I'm so glad that this is what we're unpacking today.
Correct.
The question now begged is that how do you think and why do you think, small businesses fail in such large numbers, particularly in Zambia? And you can make reference to some of the 30 that you had started at the time. I'm sure you can have reference.
Definitely.
Whether there are some of them that have actually grown from the time you were mentoring them and giving them money while you were in corporate world.
Yes.
And you now. A little bit about that, sir.
First things first.
Yeah.
Again, as a banker, I had sometimes been in charge of lending money. Effectively being the last person to either say yes or no, and to sign off those checks that go to people who borrowed money.
Fantastic.
So I've seen hordes of SMEs given money, enough money to go and run their businesses. Two things have happened. They have failed to repay back the money, and the businesses have collapsed.
Gone down.
So it's not money.
Yes.
I have seen small businesses given contracts by government. Huge contracts.
Talk about that.
In this government, in the previous government, and in no governments.
Yes.
But these businesses have failed to deliver on those contracts. What is the problem?
That is a question that a lot of us are asking ourselves. Where do we fail?
Exactly.
Why is it that we are? This is a reason why, just not to cut you short, as you continue, as you keep it as a thought. We may be given opportunities. Where do we fail to deliver? No matter how small the project they have given us as Zambians is, we'll find a way of not delivering.
Correct. In Oleander, the first conversation is that a business is not just you buying and selling things. It's not just you employing 3, 4, 5 people. Yes. It's a divine assignment.
Wow.
The divine world, if you're a Christian, God has a keen interest in your business succeeding as a vehicle for doing good Because it's only a business that can allow you as an individual, if properly run, to multiply beneficiaries. What do I mean?
Yes.
From your one idea, you can employ 50 people.
Yes.
And these 50 people have a job that gives them dignity.
Yes.
Their families become dignified.
Yes.
Their communities are empowered.
Absolutely.
And if they go to church, their churches are empowered, through
because
you.
there are people who are able to,
Exactly.
sustain, yes,
but let's go back. In Orianda, our suggestion is that a business starts from a purpose. What is your personal purpose?
Yes.
Why are you here on earth? And this realization, which I had in my Stanbic time, comes from above.
Wow.
Through enough time spent praying, meditating, chanting, fasting, almsgiving, you will receive a revelation of your purpose and assignment in life.
Yes, absolutely.
And so once you have discovered what your assignment is, then you use this business as a tube, as a vehicle to channel your assignment. So most Zambians have divorced the idea of God from their businesses.
You know, when you sit in forums, you have been in a lot of corporate worlds. Myself, I've been in a number of them. And we have mingled with those races back and forth. There are those that don't believe in things like this, and they're saying, it's not only a Christian that can actually run a business. We have people who are not Christians and they run businesses successfully. Can you tell us about how they miss purpose? Because sometimes you think you are running business successfully, but you're not in a divine purpose.
Exactly.
As you proceed with that.
It's a powerful cornerstone that I've discovered across most successful businessmen and businesswomen. They may not call their supreme being God. They may not be Christians. But they elevate this idea into what we call divinity. Divinity, spirituality.
They call it the higher
power. Higher power.
Higher power.
I have never seen, Clara, a successful business for a long time, which is not anchored and connected to a higher power.
True.
You may call it Allah, Buddha, Shinto, and in our case, God. And for those who are traditional, they have their own traditional supernatural beings. So these supernatural beings, wherever they are, have picked Clara for that particular time and given her a particular level of authority to start that business as CEO. And they have picked a particular time into which this assignment through a business must be channeled and delivered. So no one succeeds in business if they de-link it from the source of all power.
I heard you speak about how devoted you are, you know, when it comes to being sensitive in the realm of the spirit. You pray to God. Even Muslims, they are devoted to their times. Whoever you call, the Buddha people, they are devoted to that. Even those that have got some small supernatural beings,
they are devoted to that. I'll give you an example. If you go to a shop run by a Muslim, when the call to prayer happens at 12, do you know what they do? They close their shops.
I've
seen it. Go to do their prayers.
Sir.
And that's how good they have linked their businesses to their God. One of the reasons our small businesses are failing is they have not been connected to the source of all power.
Absolutely.
They have not been connected to the owner of business. And the owner of business, as a source of good, is God Almighty.
It's God Almighty.
So in Orianda, we have created a scenario where there are powers in the realms, in the spiritual realms, that are so worried about why Africa is not doing business properly. And they know that the emancipation of Africa, the emancipation of Zambia will only come when small businesses are properly rooted. Do you know, Clara, that Germany is powered by small businesses? Do you know that Japan is powered by small businesses?
Absolutely.
That is what we need to bring here. So the heavenly powers are concerned in Orianda that for the last 60 years, in Zambia, we've been doing small businesses wrongly. And time is running out. So they convene
Wow.
a meeting in the heavenly heights.
Wow.
And they're worried. They have summoned the messengers they sent to Zambia
Yes.
to husband and manage one of our characters.
Yes.
And they're saying, we are worried.
We are worried.
That time is running out.
That's Orianda, guys.
That's Orianda.
That's Orianda. That's Orianda. Yes.
So they are worried. And in this process, they had sent a gentleman called Ishmael to be an example through them on how a business is run.
He's supposed to be run.
He's a normal Zambian. He goes to school. He's working in a bank.
Wow.
And he must stay in the bank. But the gods are saying, no. Divine assignment to run a business, you have to choose one path.
Wow.
You can't stay in a formal job.
I love that.
And carry out the SME assignment.
Yes.
So the heavenly powers have pushed him out of the bank. The other dark forces are keeping him in a formal job.
In a formal job. Stay here. When you go out, you will suffer.
When you go out, your wife will run away from you. So stay.
Stay.
And most Zambians are living this lie.
Wow. Wow.
Most Zambians are living this fallacy.
Yes.
That you can stay in a formal job. You can stay as a director at a ministry, somewhere.
That's big. It's a big position.
You can stay as a director general at some place and run a business. The Oleandans are saying that's one of the reasons why for the last 60 years, small businesses in Zambia have been at the same level.
Wow.
So there is a fight in the heavenly heights, and our character Ishmael finally is pushed out of these comfort zones by the Oleandans.
Yes.
And he suffers mightily. He starts running a small business with his father, a tiny little sweet shop in Kamwala.
Coming from a banking setup.
Coming from an air-conditioned
office.
Yes. Where
vehicles driving you back
exactly.
And
your kid, your children are in international schools.
You start sitting in your father's small shop selling sweets.
And he loses friends.
At that point, they think he's not okay.
No, they think he's mad.
Yes.
And then the business starts to grow.
Wow.
Because he is there all the time. Yes. Clara, let's say this. Businesses are like children. You have to be there 24/7, especially in its infancy.
Absolutely.
So anyone who is listening to us, who has a farm and they are working somewhere, they go to work at 8, 17 they knock off and they go to a farm. That's not a farm. It's a hobby. It's not a business.
It's a hobby, so
and
just go there to pass time, and it will never grow.
It will never grow.
Absolutely. I think so.
So Ishmael's business grows and he forgets his assignment.
Wow. Again.
And he receives pressure to say, look, let's diversify into trucks so that we can be importing our sweets from South Africa and bring them here so that the costs come down. It's the same conversation most of our people have.
Yes, diversification in the name of
diversification at a wrong time. Diversifying your business when you are an SME is poisonous.
Wow.
And oleander as a plant taken at the wrong time is poisonous.
See now.
But the same oleander taken at the right time
is medicinal.
It is medicinal.
Look at that.
This is the anchor of the book.
Wow.
So the story then is that he's forced into early diversification, and as a result, he loses his business. The business collapses.
Wow.
And the Oleandans send another messenger from above to go and whisk him away, because now he receives a loan from his uncle to continue running the trucking business. Now in South Africa, there is another master established by the divine to receive him and mentor him.
Wow.
For the next 7 years, he becomes a master in the business of sweets and sweet making.
So that was the sweet manufacturing company where the Oleander now had him channeled.
Yes.
When he had failed the truck business, where he wanted to diversify into.
Early.
Oh my God. Early diversification.
So the Oleandans move him into South Africa. And after 7 years of trials and tribulations,
my God,
he finally graduates.
Wow.
And he's shunted into Lagos. And there, after all these 7 years of doing one thing, sweets.
Yes.
He now runs this huge sweet making factory and empire.
Wow.
So this is a story that the gods want you to take. 3 things. You can't run a proper business and assignment if you are serving 2 masters.
And just as you hold on to that thought, because the next question is going to be, then what can we do to be able to ensure that, Zambian business, according to Oleander, are not failing the way they are incredibly failing?
Number 1, let us encourage people from the outset to choose whether they will be full-time business people or full-time employees. Mm-hmm. There's no fight, there's no conflict between being an employee and an employer.
Yeah.
Both are 2 sides of the same coin. Others are given to be employers.
Yes.
They build businesses.
Yes.
Others are given to be employees.
Yes.
There's no shame in being an employee.
Absolutely.
It's another calling.
Yes.
It's another assignment.
Absolutely.
Number 2, once we have started our small businesses, the Oleanders from above, divine providence from above is saying, don't do too many things. Don't do 99 jobs.
The 99 jobs syndrome. That's we work 99 jobs.
Pick one assignment. And you see, if you are in touch with your divine providence, if you are a prayerful person, you will download the purpose from above of what you should do. So in Oleander, the Oleanders have tasked Ishmael to only do one thing, sweets and sweets only. Because after 7 years of doing one thing and one thing only, you become a master.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it's
what makes you succeed is mastery of one area.
That's the word.
Clara, I saw this when I was at Stanbic.
Yes.
Because in my early days at Stanbic, I was doing a lot of work in the Mkushi farm block. And I discovered that those successful commercial farmers don't do 20 crops.
You're very right.
They do 1 or 2 crops only in their initial stages.
Yes.
So Zambians, wherever you are watching us from, the bad national habit of doing 99 jobs is one of the reasons why your small business has not grown. Absolutely. So the Oleanders are challenging you that pray to your God.
Yes.
He will reveal to you the vehicle through which you will achieve your purpose.
Absolutely.
If it's grain farming, be a grain farmer.
Be a grain farmer and be good at that.
So Clara, people say, no, but Mr. Kapesa, I can't just be doing tomatoes.
Yes.
Because
I cannot grow fast.
I can't, because next season, the price of tomato will go down.
It's going to go down. And
I will lose everything. Someone will tell you, no, but diversification means that you can hedge your risks.
Yes. So that if the other, business fails, you can rely on this one.
Big mistake.
Yes.
The Oleanders are saying, if you're a tomato farmer, master the art of growing tomatoes.
Yes.
When the price of tomato is down, right? Those who are not serious tomato farmers will pull out and go and grow maize.
And go and grow something else.
The next season, grow more tomatoes.
Yes.
Because you'll be the only one selling. So the price will go up. And so Zambians who have this bad habit are challenged to pick one place and become a master.
That's absolutely amazing.
And these are the things that nature teaches us, which we don't see.
Yes.
Do you know that the mines can start a farm?
Yeah.
Do you know that ShopRite can say, Clara is selling me tomatoes. He's overcharging me. Let me go and open ShopRite farms.
Yes. Absolutely. And diversify.
They know this secret.
Yes.
This has implications for government, Clara.
Wow.
This has implications for all of us as Zambian. So in Oleander, we are suggesting, and the Divine Assembly is suggesting that pick one position and become a master in that position, and you will succeed exceedingly.
Wow, I love that, because you see, we have challenges back and forth, especially now. We keep crying to the government. There's no funding. See, they have given us money. Maybe they're buying us equipment. They're not giving us enough operational money. Or this government institution, they're not actually doing what they're supposed to do for us to be able to grow our businesses.
Yes.
And yet, we have been doing business wrongly all along. Why? Because I think the notion right now for most of the SMEs is the more number of businesses I'm doing, the bigger, quicker I will become. which is a wrong notion according to Orianda.
Completely wrong.
You know?
Completely wrong.
So the 3 secrets of SME success lie on mastering the art.
Yes.
Wow, amazing.
It's mastering, and we see this in nature, because nature is the best teacher. We see this in nature.
Yeah.
When you plant an orange, when you plant a maize seed, it doesn't, first of all, it is a maize seed. It is not 2 things.
It's a maize.
Nature chooses one thing.
Yes.
You are man.
Yes.
You are not both man and woman. Nature is clear.
Yes.
You are an orange. You are not both.
You are not both a lemon and an orange.
And if you disobey nature, you do it at your own peril. And because business is divine, if you transgress and offend these divine laws of success and growth, you are on your own.
You are on your own.
So what happens in nature is that a plant of maize is a plant of maize. Meaning, if you are a business person, you are a business person, not an employee.
Not an employee.
And watch what happens. When the maize plant is young, it doesn't reproduce.
True.
Which is the equivalent of diversification.
Yes.
It doesn't.
It doesn't reproduce.
No child, no human beings reproduce at 4.
Think about it.
So in Oleander, we are saying that nature has taught us that you start to diversify or to reproduce once you reach a certain age. Because at that point, you are able and capable of managing the rigors of diversification, of childbirth, and of child rearing.
Yes.
And so, you can't have a maize plant starting to grow cobs when it's 1 month.
Can you imagine?
It will be strained and it will die if you force it.
Yes.
And look at this, what happens. When it's time for a human being or for a species to diversify and reproduce, they don't reproduce something which is not of their kind.
Yes.
They only reproduce that which is of their kind.
Yes.
Even in diversification, you can't move from selling sweets to transport.
To transportation. Look at that huge
You
difference.
can't. You can't start as your Zambif from growing or from growing cattle to manufacturing vehicles. Diversification must be related. It must be built from what you have. For example, when you're big enough, you can say, right, I am selling chickens. Now that I'm big enough, I think I can start dressing the chickens.
Yes. Yes.
You can't move from rearing chickens to road construction.
To road construction.
And that's what our people are doing.
We are big. We are now doing roads.
That's
It's
wrong.
at that point that we fail. No
That's
matter
wrong.
how much investment that goes.
Exactly.
Wow.
And you see, for you to see success, for your clan to grow, for us to come and say, this is a big clan, it doesn't take 2 years. It takes time.
Yes.
The other secret in Oleander is that most of our people give up their dreams too early.
You can say that one again. I have seen that being another problem that not only Zambians but Africans generally face. One, we have no patience.
No.
We're trying to grow. We want overnight success. Even when you are observing someone, you want to observe them for 2 years and you want to see big results.
Yes.
And this is the reason why people keep failing. A lot of companies, young companies are mushrooming and they're dying at a very high rate because we like patience.
Yes.
And we like mastery. And we also like foresight and divinity connection between what we are doing and what we ought to do in terms of growing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So then the Oleanders finally deliver the last secret. And the last secret is around divine timing. There's only a period of time in which you are in season.
Yeah. True.
Now, I'm saying this because I want to say something that also is a problem with Zambians.
Yeah.
If you are clear about your assignment, 7 years, your job is to build a business.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not necessary to be the next person to grow the business.
Say that one.
You reach a stage where you either sell a huge portion of your business to others whose assignment is to scale it up.
Scale it up.
Because
That's
your
very important.
assignment was
That's very
only
important.
to bring it to a certain level.
Yes. That's very, very important.
Timing is important. And if you overstay in your own business, you become a source of stuntedness.
it becomes very difficult for one to discern without spiritual eyes
Yes.
when to actually give out a larger portion of business for scaling up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that you can easily say, no, I'm going to wake up and I'll give this business.
No. We have attachments. We are attached to it. We are attached to it emotionally.
And in most cases, sometimes something that you love so much, it will cause a lack of growth, if I may use that word.
Of course.
Yes, because you love it so much, you're so protective of it.
Exactly.
So you are not allowing other people to be able to bring in their thoughts and their ideas. You just want to have it.
Yes.
Oh.
In this book is that a time comes and you have to be conscious of the universe, conscious of divine intervention.
Yes.
A time comes when you let go of the business because your assignment is accomplished.
Already.
Now, there are many ways to let go of the business. You can sell the business, just like any other asset, and go to another assignment. Or you can dilute your interest. But a business should never have two very important and powerful people running it.
Yes, that's very true.
So you reduce while someone comes. Time is important.
Yes.
The office, the time is important. And also, we think that you need to be the right person for that particular assignment.
Very true. Very true.
So in Olyanda, we think that the divine timing, which we have positioned around 7 years. So don't give up on your dream.
Yes.
Before it's 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Again, don't overstay. If something hasn't worked in our view, if you haven't mastered your business to give you returns within 5, 6, 7 years, you are hanging on to something that's not your calling.
That's not your calling.
Probably if you gave it to someone else,
it will flourish.
It will flourish.
Yes.
So don't overstay in one business if it has not yielded the fruit. Wow. This is the Olyanda message, and we think these are the reasons why Zambian small businesses are failing to get to the next level.
That is fantastic. How have you yourself, James, played the Olyanda 3 Ancient Eternal SMEs secrets?
In my own experience, like I shared with you, I have had some businesses that I have had clung to.
Yes.
And they have gone under.
Yes.
I have had some businesses where I have brought in partners.
Yes.
And that has been a source of problems. There have been some businesses that I have succeeded alone.
Yes.
And there are some businesses that I have allowed other people to take over and run with. And so one of these things I'm speaking to around my own experiences. For example, Bow and Arrow. Bow and Arrow is now a very clear purpose that we have uplifted from the divine.
Wow.
That there are a lot of gaps in knowledge about basic business requirements.
Yes.
There are a lot of gaps about this information we are talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There are a lot of gaps around, number one, financial fitness amongst people that run institutions.
Yes.
Now, Clara, if you can't manage yourself, you can't manage a business.
You can't manage your business. True.
And one of the things that we are focusing on at Bow and Arrow is an idea called financial literacy.
Wow.
Some of the reasons now going under why our small businesses are failing is that there is a serious financial indiscipline with the owners.
Currently happening. And it has been like that for the last
The owners are coming to the business not knowing that it's an assignment from above. They are coming to run the business for immediate personal gain.
Yes.
And they stifle the business. So we are suggesting that apart from the 3 secrets, individuals who are starting these businesses need basic financial knowledge.
Information.
And financial discipline.
Yes.
You see, if at individual level you have never followed a budget.
Yes.
If at individual level you have never said, this is not my money.
Yes. You just go and spend all of it.
You just want to spend it.
And you find you have a shortfall and you start calling your husband on the team.
Yes.
The money that you gave me is not enough.
Yes.
I need an agent 500 to top up. I'm at the team.
Exactly. So we've been saying that maybe if you've never been disciplined individual, and you are now in charge of a company and you are CEO, what guarantee that you will not be taking company money to buy a house?
Yes, true.
Or to buy a vehicle.
Very true.
Because remember, a company doesn't need a house.
Yes.
And most Zambian small businesses have mistaken this thing. The company is a separate individual. Absolutely. It doesn't need a house. It doesn't need to own a vehicle.
No.
It can hire a vehicle.
Yes.
It
Wow.
can rent an office.
Yes, and to such a time.
So why are you imposing your individual needs as the owner who needs a house on the company?
Yeah. Wow.
So in Olianda we are saying, and in Bondar we are saying, one of the purposes now we have refocused on is this idea of small businesses, to support them.
To support them.
Because we want you to run a business and respect the budget of the company.
Wow.
There's no money, yes, but the company has money to pay salaries.
Yes.
It's not your money.
It's not your money. It's there. It's meant for.
It's meant for company operations.
Yes.
Clara, let's leave the companies and go to civic leadership.
True.
You don't respect your budget. True. You don't know financial. Now you are an MP. Now you are a cabinet minister.
You are a cabinet minister.
Now you are a president.
Yes.
Are you going to respect the national budget?
The national budget? No.
Now, these are the things that make us as a country fail.
Yes.
These are the things that make us as businesses fail.
Yes.
These are the things that make us as individuals fail in Olianda.
Yes.
You can't manage other people. You can't manage a country. You can't manage a company if you can't manage yourself.
If you can't manage yourself. And it's better that through this podcast, a lot of SMEs can actually pick insights from these conversations, because such conversations are actually something that is very awakening. And something that we recommend even as we proceed with this podcast is that people do get to buy this book. Much of the things that we are discussing on this podcast with Mr. James here are things that are enshrined in this book. Very insightful and purely business with a divine eye. I don't know if you can be able to run anything without having to have a divine connection. Other people call it the higher power. Listen to this book. It's going to blow your mind. And I can assure you after this, you'll be able to know how to run your businesses. This is amazing. It has personally helped me. And I know that this is the reason why we are recommending it on this podcast. The Olianda is a book that you must follow as we proceed with this conversation. Now, sir, having said that, there are a lot of people that have actually impacted you personally as a business person. As you were growing, you spoke about that, because we have people who are saying, no, perhaps because you worked in the bank and then you had these opportunities and you were led to, run the 30 people, you listened to them pitch their businesses, and therefore this is why your business acumen is large. What advice do you want to give to people that are listening right now?
One of the persons that gave me a good awakening around business is the late Friday Ndlovu.
Wow.
When I left the Stanbic Bank, many people said, how can you leave a big bank to go to a small bank?
Yes.
Have you been fired?
That's the thing.
At Stanbic? Because everyone wants to go to Stanbic. Yeah. And when I went to Invest Trust Bank, I then discovered that it's a small bank.
Yes.
Run by Zambians.
Yes.
Zambians making decisions.
Making decisions, yes.
Now, without any apology, the challenge we also face as a country is that most of our large institutions that are foreign controlled and foreign owned bring their own people to supervise our businesses.
Absolutely.
So decision-making skills, problem-solving skills are not available to Zambians, because most of the decisions in these multinational banks, in these multinational businesses, are made in Johannesburg, are made in Dubai, are made in London, and brought to our very exposed and educated Zambians who are called managers. But in reality, like any muscle, you grow that muscle by exercising it. And because most of our so-called expert educated Zambians in these big institutions are not involved in problem solving, are not involved in decision making, over time, their ability to confront first of all, even to identify a problem and look for alternatives and make a decision and accept the consequences has been eroded over time.
Yes.
This is important for us as a country to remember. It's even happening in the mines. The decisions in the mining industry are made by those who have come with capital. Our people, however educated they are in middle management, where there are no difficult decisions made. Over time, our ability to identify mining problems, solve mining problems, and live with the consequences has been eroded.
It has been eroded.
So what Invest Trust did to me, and God bless the late Mr. Ndlovu, is that it allowed me at a very young age to understand the power of making decisions. And living and accepting the consequences. It gave me a rare opportunity to exercise my problem-solving skills.
Wow.
Because at Invest Trust Bank, you didn't have someone sitting in Johannesburg to go to when things went bad.
Yes.
We were forced to sit and say, we have to solve this problem.
Yes. And so you found solutions.
So we found solutions. Yes. Some solutions didn't work, and some worked. Now, this is important, Clara.
Yes.
And I'm zeroing on this.
Yes.
So Mr. Njovu impacted and empowered me.
Wow.
And he empowered many other young people who worked at that bank. He's late, and we wished he was around so that we can continue to draw from his well of knowledge. Very, very important. But also, I have been impacted. I've been impacted heavily by one of my friends who is actually the character in Orianda.
Yes.
This is a friend I was with in Northern University when we were doing our professional studies called CIMA. Chartered Institute of Management Accounting. Yes. And this is in the early 2000s, Clara, and it was very difficult to get CIMA done.
Absolutely, I know that.
And this friend of mine, I will not name him, and I've used a different name in Orianda, finishes CIMA with me.
Yes.
And then goes and says, look, yes, I'm working in the bank. I should be promoted.
Yes.
But he says, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
I want to go and use my knowledge to produce tomatoes better.
Wow.
So this knowledge I have gained, instead of taking it to someone and make their business grow, now with this knowledge, I think I should be able to run my small tomato farm better.
Yes.
And he represents the Asian community. The Asian community has been a source of inspiration, a source of inspiration for me. Yes. And it's featured in that book.
Especially on family business.
Especially on family business. Yes. So that has impacted me a lot. But in broadly, I've also been impacted on what not to do.
Yes.
And the impact on what not to do comes from most Zambians who are working. Yeah. No names mentioned, but I'm sure you can put yourself in that position.
Absolutely.
Very successful Zambians who, from a distance, are running very productive farms, are running very productive businesses. Yeah. They are in charge of very productive construction companies, and they are working at RDA or they are working somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. And when their job finished, when the job ended, they became destitute. Their businesses collapsed, not knowing that actually it's their job that was subsidizing their business. So if you ask me, positively, I've been impacted by this son of the soil called Friday and Love. Negatively, I've been impacted on how not to run a business by the hordes of civil servants, hordes of Zambians who are running businesses, not knowing that they are actually not businesses.
They are not businesses because they've never paid a salary out of their own business.
It comes
because
from
you're working
salary.
Also, it's coming from their salary to be able to sustain their business.
Exactly.
True to that.
So these are the things that continue to keep me in the narrow path. The temptation to go for a job is high. Someone says, no, but hey, you went and got a job at Nima.
Yes.
Remember, I spent some time at Nima.
I know, and I was going to get to that.
You went and got a job at Nima. Why didn't you say no?
Why didn't you say no? And you are one of the pioneers of the Nima who are here in Nima through you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But this is to say that quickly you must be able to realize where you are supposed to impact.
Yes.
And make a difference and leave at the right time.
But also Nima was an opportunity because Nima started from zero. There's a lot of work that was done for many years, gathering information to start it. But then that courage to say there's no money, there's a lot of negative will, no one wants it.
And it's a new policy.
It's a new thing.
We don't know whether it's going to be acceptable or not.
No, we don't want. The unions were against it. That courage, having received instructions from above, to say, this is an opportunity for us to say that you can start a business from without.
Yes.
You can take on your assignment, grow a business, bring in the right people, bring in a team, and where everyone wrote you off, where Everyone said it won't work.
It won't work. This one is a new phenomenon.
It can't work.
It can't work. Not in this country.
So God is saying, no, go there and show that the ideas that you're pulling in Orianda are workable. Yes. And again, it was only for a season. So after 3 years, our assignment ended prematurely there. Wow. But again, you have to be sensitive to divine providence. Yes. Tell you, okay, your time is done. Your time is done. Yeah.
Fine.
So we are, and you see, when we went to Nima, because you can't build something when you're half-hearted. Many of the 2, 3, 4 businesses that we were running before we came to Nima didn't survive. Yes, because confirming that if you are a judicious employee, if you are a God-fearing employee who doesn't steal time from your employer, you must dedicate all your energy to your job. And God will reward you. Yes. But if you are an employee who is stealing time from your... What message are you sending to divine providence? Divine providence. Can you manage? No, you can't. So I dedicated all my time to bringing this baby called Nima together with my team, of course. Yes. And so all the businesses naturally didn't have my attention. Yes. And so the message is, whoever is out there who is dedicating their time to their job, don't waste your capital investing in a business. You will lose money. Yes. Because if you invest in a taxi business, the taxi driver has more time and control over your business. Over 2, 3, 4 years, the taxi driver has more cars, and you'll have a lot of cars on rocks, on stones. True. So you have to create enough time for your business, meaning there is no time for you to be at the office. Yes. I have never seen much success coming from someone who starts a business and who is committed to their job. Yeah. Either, and the Bible is clear, you can't serve two masters. Either they are taking time from their employer. Yes. It's called stealing. Yes. And if you build a business on theft, then it does not. Of time from your employer, you are in conflict with divine law. You have offended the heavens. Wow. And if your assignment from the heavens is to build this powerful tomato business so that the glory of God can be seen into that business, and you take time away from that assignment and give it to your job, you are stealing from that divine assignment. You are offending the heavens. Profound. And if you offend the heavens and nature, your success is limited and your days are numbered. And the Bible is again clear. Yes. You see? If you are not judicious in small things, how can we give you charge over bigger things? Yes. And so one of the reasons small businesses are not failing is that the average Zambian who would have worked for 10 years had developed bad habits, thinking that when they cross that line, all of a sudden they will change and become good people. Yes. They will become punctual. They will become productive. They will become financially sound. No. Yes. I posted something on my social media that when an opportunity is before you, you can't rehearse. Yes. You can't say, let me prepare. Yes. Preparation would have happened way back in those small things, inconsequential things that you were doing when no one was looking at you. Yes. So opportunity will just find you, and it will find you ready because of how you have behaved. So you will not be an entrepreneur if in all your 10, 15 years of working for government, you were not productive. You will not make money if in all your 20 years of working for a bank, you never saved Ngwe. Can you imagine? You will not become a successful entrepreneur if in the last 15 years, you never practiced how to make a decision on how to solve a problem. Yes. So wherever you are now, start to prepare yourself. Because in this path to SMEhood, as Orianda puts it, there are evil points along the way. Absolutely. One of them is corruption. Corruption is one of them. Bribing people. Yes. And you see, once the seed of corruption, once the seed is planted, the seed of laziness, not being punctual,
Yes.
is planted in your business,
Yes.
it will yield its own kind.
Absolutely.
And I want to encourage people
Wow.
that it's possible to be in a big office, I've been there,
Yeah.
and refuse the temptation of corruption.
Fantastic.
And I want to challenge you. It is possible to run a business, to go and put in an order, a tender, without corrupting anyone.
Yes.
I know you will lose a lot of tenders.
Yes.
I know you will lose a lot of opportunities to make quick bribery money. But I also know, through what we call the clientele effect,
Yes.
that there should be a portion of procurement officers who are God-fearing.
Yes, of course.
And they are looking for this one company that is clean.
That is clean. I'm short of words because these are practical insights that we are talking about now. We are speaking about business generally not being divorced from you as a person. It is connected to you and to your assignment. And so wherever you take it, whether you leave your small business to be a politician or you leave your small business to be an employee somewhere, your personal traits and your personal attributes are actually going to showcase in your new job.
Exactly.
Some of them very shamefully so.
Exactly.
And you discover that, oh, we thought this was a good opportunity.
Exactly.
How did we mess it up?
Exactly.
Because of your personal attributes.
Exactly.
Not marrying and being in tune with your assignment as a person.
Yes. And it's that conflict.
Yes.
It's that conflict that breaks down businesses. Because the original DNA of a business is a force for good. A business was DNA'd and wired by God, by the divine, to be a force for utmost good. Yes. And so when you bring into a business elements of evil, a divine conflict, a celestial conflict is ushered into. And if this conflict, this antagonism between evil and good continues, it stunts the business and crashes the business. Align yourself to the business as a source of utmost good.
What do you think is a misconception that people have about this book?
Most Zambians are saying, no, but where did you get those ideas of Olianda and that picture? Yes. And I tell them, I believe in dreams. Yes. And I challenge you to start making peace with your dreams. So they say, no, that's foreign, that's ancient. But nowhere else will you find that picture we have painted in Olianda. So one of the local celebrated film producers says, this is the first time he's seeing a book about business written in a story. And says, this is the first time that a book in business is futuristic and also divine. And so, God allowing, you will be able to watch this film, this book. And the idea is that the discussion about SME is a matter of life and death.
Absolutely.
Because most Zambians don't want to read. We want you to buy this book.
Absolutely.
We want this to be brought in front of your TV screens in your living rooms. So that even if you can't sit and read, you are able to sit and decipher and distill these ancient, eternal SME secrets in the comfort of your living room on the silver screen. So all things equal, God allowing, and this is our purpose, Clara. He will allow it. He will allow it. You will see this book on the white screen, on the silver screen. But hey, before you do that, have a read so that when you are watching it,
you'll be able to relate.
It will change the conversation around bookmaking, book writing, but also entrepreneurship in Zambia for small businesses. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Our dear viewers, this has been Quality for Growth podcast. My name is Clara, your host.